speech was the bomb.
Okay, I guess. Yes.
The first B stands for the brilliance. So the brilliant parts of her speech. Well, first of all, this was a project one. It didn't seem like it. You were so confident. You were so natural in your delivery. It was just stupendous. And you sounded really clear. You did not display any signs of nervousness, and you maintained your eye contact considerably well. There were a few tweaks, but I'll get to that later. And also the fact that this is actually the icebreaker. So it's all about letting the audience know who you are. And you let the audience know considerably well who you are. First about when you moved to Singapore and the hardships that you had. And then later how you managed to make that change, all because of one dictionary. And how you used that, and that accent just developed, and that made you feel way better, that made you feel more comfortable about that. So you did well more than what was asked for when it came to the icebreaker. Also, one part I really loved was some of the use of your words. If you've all seen the Dead Poets Society, there's this part where Robin Williams talks about not using the word very because it sounds very lazy. And I could not catch any use of that word. In some instances, when you talked about like not having a tough time, you said, I clearly did not fit in. Every day was miserable for me. Instead of something that's being like, every day was very bad for me, you said, every day was miserable for me. You desperately wanted to be Hermione. And this was in a very captivating manner that I got everyone's attention. I got emceeing opportunities. And let's come to the organization. Your speech was really effectively organized. You began with talking about meeting new people and interacting with them. Then you got to the main part. You talked about first how problems that you had. Then you talked about moving back and forth. So you were really organizing your points, and then you talked about coming back to Singapore and the change. And then later you got to the conclusion where you talked about the quote from the movie, which I've watched and I love that movie. And then you talked about like just making some change. Let's get to the end. Some minor tweaks, maybe if you can make in a speech, that'll be way better. Calm down, slow down on the pace. At times you're going too fast. Give the audience some time to take it in. Maybe like just slow it down a little more. You have time in your speech, I believe. Yes, you have like 35 seconds more. And also, add some more pauses. It has a dramatic effect. Maybe like when you're talking about the quote, add a huge pause. Let the audience take it in. Carry on. And also, at times that the eye contact when I talk about, there were a few places where I think you have done better. That you had really good eye contact, but at times you looked down like a kid. So maybe try to just look at the wall over there so it feels like you're still looking at the audience. Coming to the last beat, the broad conclusion, I think that was a phenomenal project one. It looked like it was your first speech, and I would love to have the opportunity to hear more of your speeches and maybe get a chance to evaluate you. Thank you.
Next, we have Marisa to evaluate